So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Good morning. Still just here from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown in Swift Current, 11:40 a.m. local time. Just a few minutes late getting underway here in this men's quarterfinal. It's going to be a busy day of curling action here from Swift Current. The draws are stacked rather tight. That's just one of the side effects of having the men and women playing together. You get to Championship Sunday, there's a lot of curling to be done and taxing on the ice crew as much as anything else. This quarterfinal matchup that we're featuring here, we've got Mike McEwen, registered out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon, playing against Scotland's Bruce Mouat. Mouat was one of the pool winners, won his own pool to get into the qualification process that way. Mike McEwen had to come through a qualifier last night. So McEwen's got the Yellowstones throwing first to start things off. They played the center guard, the come around, and now looking for the freeze. Daniel Marsh will put that right on the top of that redstone, taps it back a couple of inches, but does leave the yellow partly under cover. My name's Sean Joyce. Thank you all for joining us here this morning and all weekend long. Still a couple of draws after this one. Semi-final action, both the men's and women's play will start at schedule start 3 o'clock, and then the finals at 6 p.m. There is a chance we'll be a few minutes late, depending on how these draws run and the ice prep time. But stay with us on Curling Stadium, and we'll get all the action to you here live. That Yellowstone was still in the no-tick zone, so after making contact, it looks like it removed it from the center line. So the Yellowstone goes back, and the red one is removed from play. You can move it, you just can't move it off the center line, and it went just a little bit too far. No, this is not the same guy throwing 4 rocks in a row. This is the other twin, Kevin Marsh, throws the second stone. Daniel Marsh, the lead on the left. Colton Flash throws the third stones with his brush down in the white hoodie. And Mike McEwen in the house skips this team, and he will throw the last pair. This one is really running straight on them. Now, can they chip to dead frozen? Now, they got the chip to dead frozen, but the shooter rolls to a position where they could double the 2 yellows out. Trick is going to be to not leave a double back. You saw Bruce indicating if we hit the first one thick, maybe get the top of the second one a little bit, spin up some, and could maybe move that redstone back just a little bit, so at least there'll be some space between the 2 reds. That attempt's going to fall onto Bobby Lammy. Bobby throws the second stones for this team. Hammock McMillan Jr. on the left, as we view it there, is the lead. Third is Grant Hardy. And, of course, Bruce Mouat in the house. Skips and throws the final pair for this team. Gets one, comes across, touches the second, moves it out into the open, but he did leave a double on the two reds. Kevin Marsh, in addition to throwing the second stones, he is the one that holds the broom for Mike McEwen when he throws. They like to take advantage of Colton Flash's brushing ability. Makes the hit, clips the second one, enough to get it out. McEwen sits two here early on in this opening end of play. Another chance for the double. Flat once again, playing the intern into it to gear off a little bit, get a little extra momentum coming across. Got one, gets into the second stone, and again, not quite able to get it all the way out of play. All Bruce Mouat could do was stand and watch as it never got to the tee line for him to sweep. Colton Flash now with a chance to hit, perhaps roll behind cover, sit two, and at the very least keep the chance to force here in this opening end. Sweeping now for Curl. Like to get across the face just a little bit. This might have been plan B. They straightened it out at the end, maybe thinking, well, if we're not going to get under, we better not leave it where the roll's too easy. Mouat not looking at the roll, he's looking at the double. He would like to keep the blank alive here in this first end. On the brush right away, it's very thin to make the double. Now sweeping for Curl. Now back to straight. They got to be close if they're going back and forth. Well, now they switched to plan B. Realizing they were going to hit it too thick, they let it come up to the nose. So another opportunity for Colton Flash to try to roll behind cover. They're sweeping for Curl all the way down again. He's going to get a little bit of finish here. He gets the hit. Rolls just edge to edge with the guard, but the shooter's still fully exposed. It's probably better there than half around. If you get half around, there's a chance Mouat just decides to come around and get two. They're still looking at the double. It's very thin now. It's creeped up a couple of rocks higher in the house. Not throwing a lot of weight here. That's the nice thing when you're hitting the first one so thin. You're going to carry a lot of your weight through. So if they throw that quieter weight and try to use that powerful brushing. Gets the right angle, but does he have enough weight to get the second stone out? And no, it's going to hang around for a bite in the 12-foot. They did leave that Yellowstone just out the back of the rings. There's a potential jam on the red, so Mike has to be a little careful how he plays this red stone. He probably plays it quieter, goes over the top and looks for the big roll. Yep, that's your choices. It's either the big roll or you're right on the nose. You chip that yellow out on the way by, but your sliver on the outside, you roll out. You're a sliver across the face, you jam it. would venture to guess that they're not going to throw this one quite so quiet, because it does look like they settled on the nose hit. Mike McEwen with his first here in the opening end. Looking for the delicate hit on the side. Needs to hold his shooter in the rings as well to sit two and keep the force alive. They were on the brush right away. This is plan B, as it actually did cross a bit. Even with that weight, the jam stays out of the rings and the shooter stays in, so he does sit two. Mouat eyeing up the double here. This is his chance to get back to a blank. A lot of distance between those rocks, but the angle's pretty good. Half a rock is going to be close. And with half a rock, you'll carry a lot of weight coming across. Be throwing this one a little bit harder. Looks like he's throwing the out turn here just to use the gear effect from the rotation as well, having to come across about 8 feet to get the second stone. On the brush all the way down, and this is going to be simply a nose hit. And now that stone is high enough that if Mike McEwen can make the roll behind cover, he's going to be a good piece of the button. He could be dead buried. Not only is the force in play, but there's the possibility of a steal here. Has to make the roll. You have to believe, with as good as this Scottish team hits, you hit and stay right there, he might still go after the blank. Well, they're already sweeping for curls. This might have been a little bit on the full side. He needs to get to the inside of that rock if he's going to get the roll in behind. He's close. He's got the hit. Will roll over to the corner of the button. Mike McEwen sits one on the corner of the button, sits the second one at the back of the 12, and Bruce Mouat will have to try to draw to what he can see of the button to pick up his single point here. Good end for the McEwen team to start things off here. They've held the force for a long time, and now it's turned into a possibility of a steal. Not a lot of real estate here for Mouat. Even in the first end, you expect them to be close. Both teams have a practice session before the game. Hammer was predetermined for this game, but so much of that practice session still geared towards the draw to the button. He's got two of the best brushers in the world as well. They're just waiting on the line right now. Line is close, starting to move now. Where's it going to stop? It'll get to the button. Gets to the back of the tee line, but hangs on to a bigger corner of that button. Bruce Mouat with an outstanding draw on his final stone. Picks up the single point here, but that's the force Mike McEwen was looking for. He's got last rock now going into the second.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird, weekend, and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock.
Second end underway here after the force of the single. Nice draw by Bruce Mouat with his final stone to pick up the single. Throws the tight center guard to start things off here in the second end. The corner guard thrown up by the McEwen team, and that's where we are now, having McMillan looking to come around his tight center. Grant Hardy on the brush. Going to be by. Now, once they're by, they'll switch sides, try to get that last little bit of finish, see if they can get it dead buried. Boy, that's a really good draw. That stone in front of the ring's only 6 inches maybe in front of the 12-foot. And by the top of the 4-foot, he's got that almost dead buried. Daniel Marsh now will be asked to try to come down and follow that stone, sit in front of it. Waiting on this one to start curling. He's got a little bit more room so far. Might be just a touch stronger. Well, it's finishing in there nicely now. He will come down, nudge it a few inches. And the game of follow the leader continues. Bobby Lammy now trying to put another one on top of that lineup that's starting to form in the 4-foot. This is the 5th stone of the end. After this one, you may see Mike McEwen try to do something with that center guard. It depends where the ankles are. Well, they're looking for more curl there than what they got. That's interesting. Mike McEwen sitting shot right now. The red at the back of the 4-foot's exposed from the outturn side. The red that was just thrown, the hit and roll under's available. You could play the guard. He's got almost too many choices. They've decided to make the play on the stone in the top of the 8-foot, try to get under as well. Not throwing a lot of weight here. It's not absolutely critical that they kill the red. They got to get it to the back of the house. Has to get to the inside. Colton Flash trying to help it curl over. They'll get just to the nose, enough to pass it by the yellow, but that probably leaves a double on the yellows. Looks like that should clear the red at the back. Well, in this one, the brush is on right away. Needs to be just a hair high to get both of them. Going to get the hit, but he actually drives it by the yellow as well. McEwen continues to sit one. That stone at the top of the 4-foot. 2 and 3 belong to Mouat. Still has the option to freeze that stone at the back, but you can see him eyeing up the 2, not just the one in the 12-foot, even the guard. He's a little worried about them. It's 2 red stones that can be run back. You get the little hit and flop underneath. Even if you're only just about half underneath, you take away both potential raises. Now they're looking at possibly getting the big roll all the way in behind the corner. So this will be thinking about, well, if we ever get a chance to blow up the middle, this rock could be one that ends up on the scoreboard if we can get something in behind the corner guard here. Throwing a little bit more weight when he's looking for the big roll. This has got to get to the inside. And it actually rubs that yellow on the way by just enough to put it all the way under cover. That might actually work for them. It's still shot rock. For Mouat to try the double now, it's pretty hard to hold the shooter. Talking about playing the hit on the yellow, roll to the other side of the guard so that there's angle to run it in. You try to run it in from this side, there's a chance it jams on that red at the back of the 4-foot. Still considering the double. The concern I'm sure that they have with the double, if you roll out, play the double and roll out, Mike McEwen's going to hit the stone at the back, and you might be looking at a blank. They'd like to force a score here yet. This looks like they settled on the double with that weight. Makes the hit, catches the second one. They both leave easy, and the shooter will roll out of play as well. For Mike McEwen, the choice now is, do you freeze that stone at the back, which is something he's been eyeing up for a while now. It is a tough freeze because of where that corner guard is. Or do you play the hit and roll to the corner? You'll be behind the tee line. We're into the third stones here. Colton Flash. And on the brush right out of his hand. Not going to get by the front one now. Where are these 2 stones going to end up? The yellow will roll actually past the guard. Spin back a little. Maybe a hair. He does have second shot, so hard for Mouat to ignore it. He's going to have to make a play on that yellow stone in the rings. Looking for some curl. Still slightly on the outside of this. He'll get rid of the yellow, but does stay in the edge of the 12-foot. So Mike McEwen now a chance to try to use that corner guard, the yellow corner guard they threw up to start the end. Get something around it. They'll worry about how to get rid of that stone at the back of the 4-foot later. Final of the third stones this end. Colton Flash with the in-turn come-around attempt on the corner guard. All weekend long, we have seen big movement once these stones come off the center line. Comes by with nice line. They have to be a little careful on the placement of this. They don't want to leave it where Mouat can come off the red and kill it, and they actually lost it a bit at the end. That died in a hurry. It certainly looked like it had more weight than that. Now it does get third shot. But looked like it was headed for the 8-foot. Now Mouat can ignore it. Where do you put the next stone, though? You can't leave a triple. Pretty hard to put it anywhere where you're not going to leave some kind of a double, so you have to be careful what you leave. Even talked about coming off his own stone at the edge of the 12 foot. That's fourth shot. It's not like you're going to come back in to be a factor, but it's the way you could get underneath there. One of the ways you could get underneath that yellow stone in the 12. Electing to play kind of the quasi guard here, tight to the rings, kind of protect the stone at the back. Not the most comfortable guard to throw. You've seen Mike, he's wanted to play the freeze on that back stone a couple of times already. You might force him to play it now. Nothing out of the brushers yet, but they're staying close. Starting to curl now, trying to help it over. Needs to get just fully across the center line. And needs to stop before he leaves the double on the side one, and I think it stopped just in time. He's made that freeze very difficult from the out-turn side because it's a small port between the yellow corner guard and that stone that was just thrown. Could play the nose hit on that, make the double. You'd still be sitting only second shot. The thin double at the top might not have you shot set for. It wouldn't have you shot rock. It might not have you second and third either. Colton's wondering, you just play the slash double and then your shot buried at least. A case to be made for that. Mike's still looking at the port to get to shot rock. He's wanted to play this freeze for much of this end. Now, I don't know if he's looking at it as a freeze or a shot where they'd have to move it. He's looking at it as the freeze. A lot of surfaces that these teams play on, this shot wouldn't even be possible, but it might be able to hold the line well enough to negotiate that port here in Swift Current. The movement's all late as the rock's dying. He's still, I think, going to have to be pretty close to that yellow corner to get by the red that was just thrown. So Mike McEwen with his first, trying to negotiate a reverse staggered tight port to get Frozen down to shot rock. See if he can't set up a chance to get his deuce here in this second end. Tight by the yellow. Should start to move as it's coming into the ring. So he's got the port. Wow, what a fantastic shot. He made that look easy. He didn't get that tight to either one of the guards. Locks it right on the face of that stone, and Bruce Mouat wondering, well, can we follow that down? It can't be as easy as Mike McEwen just made it look. Might get at least to the face, if not the inside corner of that yellow. I think if they stay on the same angle that Mike is just at, he might be able to play the red slash in. There's some risk involved in it, but if he plays the red slash in on the angle one, you could kill the two reds, leave the yellow sitting there. Then that yellow on the side would end up being the second point. This has got more line. They're sweeping for curl. They got it off the corner guard. Now it's starting to move. Can he get ever so slightly across the face? I think he's going to. Up to the nose anyway. Boy, that's an outstanding shot. Colton wondering if the slash in is there. I don't think it is because I think it drags out. Mike's first thought was you hit what you can see of that red or even thinner, the one that was just thrown, and then the yellow behind it drags onto the red, the back 8 foot. You'll get your single point that way, but no chance for two here. That was why it was critical for Mouat to get to the face. If he is 3 inches, let's say, for instance, closer to Kevin's broom, then that angle run in, the first red-yellow probably dead jams into that back red, and it might be for two. You'd still have to have to be willing to play with some risk, but I think McEwen very good at those angle runs. If it was there, I think he'd play it. I don't think it's there. I agree with him. Can't be too soft on this one either because you got to take it out off the yellow. Colton Flash on the brush all the way down. He's got to get by the top one. He does. Still hit it fairly thick. Is he going to move it far enough? No. He wanted to hit that a little bit thinner. It'll hang around the back corner of the button. Bruce Mouat picks up the steal here in the second end. Now has a 2-point lead after 2 ends of play. Mike McEwen will have last rock once again in the third.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Already underway here in the third end as we return from the break. We've got the center guard thrown up, the corner behind it, and now Bruce Mouat asking Hammy McMillan to try to come around the corner or the center guard. Interesting that he's coming from the same side that the corner's on, though. If you only leave it half underneath, there might be the chance to hit and roll behind the corner. So Hammy takes care of worrying about that just by dead burying it, biting the top of the button. Daniel Marsh trying to follow it down now. Got a nice line coming in here. I don't know that he's got the weight to get down to it. Can he at least get to the top of the 12 foot? No, it's going to come up just a little bit short, and that ends up as a staggered guard. So Mouat will look to come around again, this time Bobby Lammy on the intern side. Good crowds here all weekend long in Swift Current. Now, if you've been watching along with us, you might have heard me say it as well. You can't always see a lot of people behind the glass, but as it's filling up behind the glass at ice level, that means the upstairs has got to be packed and they couldn't get close to the window. Comes tight by the guard, enough weight to tap off it. He didn't get quite the line he needed to sit in front of it, so leaves a bit of a pocket. They can't really get to the inside of it enough to play the double, so they're going to look at just freezing that pocket for now. The crowd support's so good in Swift Current in past years when they've run this event separate, where they run the men's and women's not at the same time. They have actually shut down a sheet, or it might have even been 2 sheets, and they'd put bleachers out there. And as much as it's cold out there, people are willing to brave that cold to watch some outstanding world-class curling. This week, running the men's and the women's together, of course, they need all 6 sheets. So it's been standing room only behind the glass upstairs. Chris Eichert is the manager at the Swift Current Curling Club, and they do such an outstanding job putting this event on every year. I'll tell you that I can tell you that Chris Eichert's a buddy of mine, but he's that type of buddy of mine that if I say on the air that he's a buddy of mine, he's going to be walking around telling people, Sean Joyce, never heard of him, don't know the guy. A little bit of a dilemma here for the Mouat team. That Yellowstone tapped the red back. Red's still sitting 2, but the yellow's in a powerful position, and it's tough for Mouat to do anything with it. All I'm seeing is you could try to tap it straight back. I mean, and if you're doing that, you want to do it with enough weight to move the red stone as well. You still need to be able to get that yellow out eventually. I think that's what they're looking at as well. Kind of goes against your nature to you're sitting 2, we're going to tap them up so that their second shot, but I don't see any other way to move that yellow. You can't just leave it there. It's in too good of a position for the McEwen team. You'd love to be able to get a sliver inside the nose on that yellow. It's tight by the guard to do that. There is some finish coming into the house for sure. Well, they've settled on it. And the shot's away, and having McMillan down with the brush right away. Brushers maybe saying this is just a little on the light side. Sweeping for curl now. He's got outstanding line. Don't think he's going to move it very far. Actually managed to chip it and get his own stone a little better than half under cover. That's a pretty good result. The yellow is second shot now, but it's deep enough that you wouldn't be able to chisel it onto shot rock. Mike wondering if it might be time to start cleaning things up. You could just play the pick on the stone that was just delivered. You get it across the top of the stone at the top of the button. You might get the double that way. I think that's what they've settled on. So playing the double, thin hit on the first stone, slightly across the face of the stone that's shot rock right now, and try to spin it all the way across, even if you don't get it out, just to get it out of the 4-foot and into the open somewhere. Makes the hit, might be too thin to catch the second one. Well, catches it enough to move it back. That's better position because now both reds at the back of the 4-foot and the yellow can be slashed into that pocket. Grant Hardy, they're talking about trying to get to the inside corner of that again. Much the same as Bobby Lammy just did. Now, Bobby did it with about back 4-foot weight. They're talking about a little more weight on this one. It does look like he might have a little bit of air on that yellow stone. Not a lot. Inside brush down right away. They're waiting on a line call. They must like the weight. Once they're sure he's by the guard, you'll see them probably pick up the sweep from the other side to get that last bit of finish. He was always likely jamming it on a red somehow or another. Yellow sits shot. The red that was just thrown, though, does have a quarter of a stone under cover. McEwen could play the same kind of double, but now that red is, or pardon me, that yellow has crept out far enough that there's room to get to the inside of it and roll buried. You make the double, it's a little scary that you leave that behind. The red stone at the top of the 4-foot, pretty dangerous though. Too dangerous probably to leave. The broom goes down and here comes the rock. Colton Flash looking to get at least one. He'd love to get that second one out of the back of the 4-foot, but it goes across the face there. Do you play that chip and roll one more time? I think that's the call. You got a little more air this time. Get to the inside, tap it back, roll to the button yourself. You'd be sitting 2. And again, those guards at the top overlapped enough that really nothing available to be run back here for Mike McEwen. It's going to have to curl if it's going to get to the inside, though. It's going to be a nose hit. Jams it on the red at the back. He does leave the double. With it being that far out, Mike thinking they might be able to see enough of the yellow to drive it on the angle towards that stone. Can't drive anything straight back, but he's got some angle this time, and he thinks they can see enough of it. They still have to get tight by that red. You don't want to hit this too thin. Not throwing big weight here. They want to be able to control it with the brush. And it's not going to get by the red. Now, where does everything end up? Does the yellow spin into the rings? No. Does the red leave the rings? No. Mouat looking at the in-off on his own again, and this time to kill the yellow behind it as well. probably has to, he's got plenty of daylight to do this, but probably has to throw a little bit more weight this time because he wants to hit it very close to the nose in order to make sure he gets that yellow behind it. He still wants to roll. Good foot, so this will probably be closer to maybe like a normal hit weight. Doesn't have to whip it, but he has to throw it harder than hack. Mostly a clean brush. Now they pick it up a little bit. Oh, did they lose the line? He's going to be a little thin on that. Catches the yellow at the back, but his shooter rolls too far. McEwen, the first thought was the draw. He's looking at the hit and roll off the one on the side. The problem is if you're frozen to either one of those stones, you're not shot. You're not buried. Hard to draw frozen to the one that's just biting the edge of the forefoot. I thought he might look at playing the in-turn draw, bury it on the yellow right there. Colton's looking at the same shot I'm looking at. Because if you happen to leave a piece of it sticking out, well, there's the jam on the side. You've still got the double at the back if you need it for your last shot for multiples. You got to get this stone in a spot where Bruce can't really do anything with it. You would have to make sure you're at least second shot. Ideally, you want to be shot. As I said, the double's available at the back. The problem is you make the double now, your stone's behind the tee line. Bruce freezes onto it. You're in danger of a steal. So they are going to settle on that draw. I think they're playing the draw to be buried on the top corner of the button. They talked about the freeze at the back as well. Doesn't look like he's necessarily sold on this call. It wasn't his first shot for sure. His first thought of shots to play, but it does look like a nice option. Mike McEwen with his first. Both brushes to go down right away. It's usually an indication they think this might be a little bit light. He's got to get at least second shot here. On that line, it looks like they were playing the freeze all the way. He's not got the line yet. They will get it in to be second shot, but there's still room to get to the inside of that. If Bruce decides he wants to. He's got shot rock at the back of the forefoot. Might be thinking about playing off his own. Sit two. It's hard to not leave a raised double like that, though. Nose hit that yellow, you'll take it out off the back red one. It's just a little scary to run it towards your own. They're thinking about throwing a guard, I think. What they're worried about is, does Mike have a way to get to shot rock? And he's got the double off the two reds at the back. Maybe they don't think he can see enough of the red. He's also got a couple of yellow corner guards that he could run in. So I don't think the guard's an option. Now they're looking at straight draw on the outturn side. Mike would have the raise on the stone he just played, but hard to get rid of all three reds if you get to the 4 foot here, and then that little raise is going to only be for the single. So they're opting for the draw. Mouat right now sitting one at the back of the 4 foot. That stone just delivered by Mike McEwen is second shot at the top of the 4. One more final thought about trying to blast it off the red. You couldn't convince him. So looking to draw in for either shot or second. He'd be sitting 2. Another rock biting the 4 foot, and then we'll see how the angles sit. Mike McEwen will probably take a look at those run-ins from the angle guards. He's very good at those. He's made some highlight reel shots. We've all seen the videos. He's still got the short runner on his stone in the 4 foot, but hard to see how that could be for more than one. This has got to get by that stone out front, though. This is curling hard. I don't think they're getting by. So now can they chip it to actually guard the short tap? Well, the short tap is still there if Mike wants to play for just one. The stone that just got tapped into the rings could be run back for a double. Run it to the stone at the side of the 4 foot, come across, get the one at the back of the 4 foot. That's for 2. And that's what they're going to play. Anybody who's been watching all weekend heard me say, I need a telestrator? Send your request to Jerry Gertz, Curling Stadium. Sean needs a telestrator. Mike McEwen needs a run double. Already trailing by 2. Mouat sitting shot at the back of the 4 foot. He's going to run the yellow towards what is actually third shot first. Needs it to come across, kick the shot stone out of the back of the 4 foot. This could be for 2 in a tie game. Needs to curl. Needs to curl. He's close. He's got 1. He's got 2, but only rubbed the second one. Won't move it very far, and the ray stone wiggles through. It's another steal of 1 for Bruce Mouat. He's taken 1 point at a time, but he's got a 3-point lead now after 3 ends of play, and McEwen will once again have last rock in the 4th.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Well, if there weren't two kinds of luck right now, Mike McEwen wouldn't be having any. Attempting the run back on his final stone, touched both red stones. Didn't move the shot stone enough to even pick up the single. It's another steal. So with a 3-point lead as we begin play here in the fourth, Mouat brings the first one into the 4-foot. The corner guard goes up, and now they're looking to bring another one into top 8 here. The first one's a little deep. It is on the back of the button, but they will pile the rocks into the middle. They want to try to force Mike McEwen into that middle section where they can eventually get the rocks grouped and try to blast them out. McEwen splits the house with 2 corner guards now. These scripts are pretty easy to predict. The first few shots, when you get down like this, you're going to throw the double corners. Mouat throws the first 2 into the rings. Sometimes, depending on the positioning, he might even throw the third one into the rings. Looks like they've opted on the center guard now. And then while McEwen's trying to deal with the ones in the middle, they might have the opportunity to get rid of those corner guards. That is the 5th stone of the end, so Mike could try to get rid of all 3 of them here, and I think that might be the option. Try to move them all anyway. Almost straight back. Important to try to keep the shooter out front somewhere if you can. Not necessarily right on the center line, but you have to expect that Mouat's going to start peeling corner guards after this, so you want to make sure you've still got 3 of them up there. It's going to be a little thin. He just gets the straight peel in the top one. Well, if that being the case, Mouat has the choice. He could guard one more time, but there's angle there for the double peel right now. You make the double peel and roll into the house. There's probably no more guards to deal with this end. Gets 1, gets 2, but the shooter stays right there, so Mike still has that one to work with at least. Looking to play the hit on the stone of the 8-foot and roll under. I think I could read lips there. He said soft. They're going to throw this on the quiet side. There's 2 ways you could play this. You could play this with a little bit more weight, try to get the double and roll behind. They're going to play this a little quieter, try to control the roll. They're not worried as much about that stone at the back of the button. Gets the tap. He will roll out past the guard, but that's never necessarily bad. In fact, you could see Bruce Mouat talking. Do we try running the guard? Because whenever you're hitting a rock like this on the wide side of the guard, you almost can guarantee that Mike McEwen's coming around on the next shot no matter what. Maybe the only way to stop is if you can roll right back to the center line. There is room to do that. Looks like they were trying to hit and stay right there so that they didn't leave the opportunity to corner freeze. Will be the draw attempt now for Colton Flash. Looks like he can just get corner frozen. He'd be second shot rock. coming by, but all the movement going towards the corner is after it crosses the line, and there it goes. Going to be a little heavy for the corner freeze. He'll end up buried on everything, but that's a pretty short angle run on the red. As long as it clears, that's what Bruce was taking a look at. Does it get underneath the back red? He's not sure that it does, actually. It looks like he thinks it might clip the other red. From the overhead, it looks like it might go under, but... Grant Hardy wants to take a look at the angles. I guess it really actually depends on how you hit it. If you got to the nose, definitely it's coming back and hitting the other red. But if you hit it in the angle that they're already lined up at, so if you hit half to even a quarter thin on the red, I think it might go underneath the shot stone at the back of the button. They don't mind moving that stone at the back of the button. They probably don't want to kill it. As long as it's in the ring somewhere, you still got the force in play. Gets it nice and thin. Does still clip it. The yellow will leave, and the red does hang around in the 12-foot on the other side. So Mouat sits too, and maybe most importantly, the shot rock is dead buried. So the corner freeze, you've either got to bump it a little bit or you've got to stay on a fairly steep corner to get shot rock. Half a rock in front of it's still good. You might not be shot just yet, but if you're not going to be shot, you need a little piece of the yellow exposed so that you've got a chance to promote it later. Both brushers working on this hard. It's got to get down to that red stone. And it's going to be short. Well, now if you're Mouat, you can't just simply split the rings because he'll still try to come around. So if you're going to draw open side, you got to be close to the 4-foot. You've got to put it in a spot where he kind of has to play it. Grant Hardy wondering about coming around themselves just to take away the path. I don't think he's going to talk Bruce Mouat into it. He's still like, draw to the other side. You want to maybe bite the edge of the 4-foot. Oh, maybe he did talk him into it. Thinking about trying to cut off the path to come around those two guards. So probably with this, just trying to be full 12-foot wide open. You don't care if Mike McEwen at this point in time wants to play a double. You just don't want to give him anything to come around. And you want to be open because if he tries to come around your shooter, then you've still got it to run back. Brushers are staying close. That's usually a good sign. They like the weight. Boy, if the line's perfect, they'll bring that right in and bury a corner. Try to get it even with the other red. There won't even be a double. Well, if there's the slash double, you're probably losing the shooter. You could almost make the triple. Now, all that does is get you back to a blank. Mind you, I'm not seeing how you're scoring two here. the only other shot I see to maybe try to set up a score is red guard onto yellow guard, slash it back, try to get to the shot stone, and hope to leave something in front of it. That is a high risk for low reward type of shot. I mean, it might give you a shot for 2, but more than likely it still ends up forced. And that's assuming you make it. This is a much more makeable shot. He's got the angles are about right to get the triple. Now, the tough part about this, you try to make a triple and you still have to stick it at the end. If you happen to make the triple and roll out, Bruce Mouat comes around again and you're still forced. It's about a quarter of a stone on the first one. Daniel Marsh on the brush right away. It backed away now. He's close. He's got 1. He's got 2. The shooter comes across, does stick on the back one, makes the triple. Mike McEwen. Great shot here in the 4th end to get out of a little bit of trouble. Not looking good to try to score 2. Needs this triple just to make sure he's got a chance to get back to the blank. And as good as the shot is, that critical part is he made it so good he sticks his own shot. Take a look at the shooter coming back. Dead, sticks it on that stone in the back, stays in play. Bruce Mouat probably has to make a play on that shot now, and that means you're going to have a chance for the blank. Had that rolled out, you know, as good as that shot is, you roll out, he still comes around. They're wondering whether or not there's even a split there for Mike McEwen. I think if you hit and stay on the nose, it doesn't matter. Hit and roll to the 8-foot even. Will roll in just a couple of inches to sit in the 8-foot. Well, Mike's got is the chance to hit and roll out for the blank, but that still looks better than what it was looking like a few minutes ago. Overall for McEwen, it probably feels worse than it is. He's still just down by 3. Get the blank, keep last rock. They do need one of these ends to go better for them so they could try to set up a deuce. Has to make the blank first. He gets the hit. And they run out of room to sweep it, and it spins back at the end. That's going to be a single point that Mike didn't really want. He'll take the one, but Mouat takes a 2-point lead and the hammer into the 5th.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Well, the unintentional single point for Mike McEwen in the fourth end means that he's got to try to set up a steal here in the fifth. They threw the really long center guard to start with. They come around to the top of the forefoot. Now they're playing the tight guard. Sean Joyce with you here live from Swift Current. It's men's quarterfinal actions here. Started at 11:30 this morning from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. Been an outstanding event, a strong international field. I think out of the 24 women's team, 15 were internationals. The 24 men's team, 9 were internationals. A lot of these teams that are in Swift Current this week will be in Saskatoon and Martinsville next week for the either the Grand Slam or the Tier 2. Using this event as a tune-up. And perhaps a chance to take home a little bit of money from Swift Current as well. These teams chasing that top prize. Mouat sitting 2 behind the center guards right now. Kevin Marsh being asked to come down and just jiggle things around a little bit in the house. And this is the 5th stone of the end, so no free guard zone after this, and that's when the hits will start. Needs this to curl. He'd like to get close to the nose on that. If he just jiggles it and pops open, Mouat will have the opportunity, if he so chooses, to just hit the red one in the rings. He may still go after the guards. Yeah, he's not as worried about the rocks in the rings right now. Looks like he's going after the double peel on the guards. Could try to run the long guard towards the yellow that was just thrown too. Get the 2 guards, there's a chance that the tight one comes back towards the one that was just thrown. Might be able to get all 3 yellows moving. Just going to get the peel on the high guard, though. The shooter will roll all the way to the divider and out of play. Mouat still sits 2, biting the 4. The one is behind the tee line already. Mike thinking about making a play on the other one. The problem is it leaves all his yellows on the same side of the sheet. So also thinking about the freeze on the other side. Probably has to be right back to it here. Leave this in front of the tee line and it might be yellow on a red onto yellow, and all the yellows fly and the red stays. So I think you have to be all the way down to the freeze, and they're going to have to go to get it there. Well, he's not freezing the back one, and I don't think you want to freeze the top one. That's, you know, if you're going to have a miss, that's probably not bad there. It's hard for Mouat to go after that one now. He's going to go after the tight guard and try to run it towards the stone in the 8-foot. Get 2 that way. Bobby Lammy with the throw. Grant Hardy down right away. Not the way they were looking to do it. I would have liked to go across the top. He does get 2 yellows moving. It will come out of the rings, but he moved his own stone from the top of the 4-foot to the back. Looks like it's just out of the rings. And that means that Mike McEwen could probably start throwing guards again now. He's going to have a path to get to the freeze. Throw a few guards, let them peel a few. Actually, with the setup in the house, you could make an argument that he can guard this now right up to his, and including Mike's first stone. He's got 2 ways into the 4-foot buried if he's got a guard. Need that to stop. They're going to leave enough angle that Mouat can take a run at getting both yellows here. He's going to play just the straight peel. Skip always wants to play it safe. The guy in the hack thinks, I can get both of them. I think the guy in the hack won. They're going to try to get them both. He's got to go over the top of the second one a little bit. Just took a look. There is the possibility if you make it, it's going into that yellow just off the rings on the side. But with Mouat having last rock here, if you just clear the middle, I don't think you're too worried about anything that would stick as a biter out there. Didn't want to hit it that way, though. Jammed it onto the stone at the back of the 4-foot, so now he's left McEwen sitting 1, and there is a center guard to work with. It's about a halfway guard. It's hard to throw a second one. So you probably have to come around now, and the question is how deep. You saw Mike indicate if we're up high, they've got to double off the side one, so they got to be T-line at least. Even if you're in the back of the 4-foot here, I don't think Mouat freezes, but if he does, like, you might be okay with that. You know, you need some rocks in play right now. In on this almost all the way down. You don't want to leave the double on the high 2, so if it's not going to be deep enough, you leave it higher, which is what they've done. Let that stop so that he can't play the double off the open stone. They're going to try to peel the red guard into that cornerstone. I still think the red at the back of the house is out of the rings, but I haven't seen anybody make a definitive gesture on that yet. Gets one, does get the yellow stone, but the red will spin out the back as well. So Mike with his first, I have to think he's throwing the guard here. And then with his final stone, assuming the double is missed, you can either come around it or you might try to tap it straight back, just because that if you make the straight back, your shooters are rocks width higher and you can get a little more separation between the two of them that way. It's nitpicking a little bit to look for that little bit extra separation, but I'm sure they'll talk about it. Needs this guard fairly high. You know that Bruce is going to try to run the double. You could put it too close together and that just makes it a little bit easier. You do have the corner guards over on the side. You could always just come around that to get the force, but 2 down here as we play in the 5th. Mike really needs to try to set up some kind of chance for the steal. Well, that's interesting. He didn't actually get all the way over to cover shot rock. Does Bruce just take a shot at the shot stone directly and try to stay on the corner. And that's what they're going to do. Needed a little better coverage on that stone. There's room to pass it by everything at the back, or the one stone at the back, I guess, and hang on to the side of the 12-foot. Like McEwen might have a decision to make. If that stone at the back is out, he might be able to play the hit and roll off of whatever Bruce is going to leave behind here. I don't really think that guard is good enough that you want to play the come around for your life against a possible deuce. Bruce Mouat with the hit, enough to pass it through the back, and he does roll all the way over to the edge of the 12-foot. So the choices for Mike McEwen are you're playing the come around, and it's honestly, it's against the possible loss. You could play the hit and roll all the way back, tough. If that stone at the back is biting, then yeah, you're playing this draw because it's probably 2 anyway. They didn't even hesitate to play this. It makes me wonder. Because if that stone's out, you hit the stone on the edge of the 12-foot. Worst case scenario, it's a blank. The worst case scenario here is 2. And 2 is just too many at this point in time. You're still only 2 down. But if that stone at the back is actually biting the 12-foot, that changes everything. Rushers picked this one up early, as much for weight as anything else. Needs to almost bite the 8-foot to get shot rock, and it's going to come up short. Now, it's definitely beating the one at the back, but it's going to be a draw for 2. And Bruce Mouat just needing half a rock in the 12-foot or better. Can open up a 4-point lead here after 5 ends of play. In a game where just nothing has gone right so far for the Mike McEwen foursome. Final stone, 5th end. Basically just needs rings. Having McMillan with the brush down right away, but that's really just a hard clean. A little bit of a clean from the offside as well. They're just escorting that stone right down into the 8-foot. Grab a little piece of the 4. Put 2 points on the board for Bruce Mouat here in the 5th. They open up that 4-point lead. Mike McEwen gonna have to see if he can get something going with last rock in the 6th.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Welcome back, everyone. Sean Joyce with you here live from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown in Swift Current. Mike McEwen has got his work cut out for them. And we've seen this a couple of times throughout the event, and it's something that has, let's say, trickled its way into the game with the no-tick zone. You see with a 4-point lead, Mouat brought the first stone into the ring, slid a little deep, it's in the back forefoot. So now McEwen, needing a guard, throws the center guard so that it's in the no-tick zone, because what we've seen with corner guards, and it's a shot that crept in from doubles play, if you throw the corner guard, teams will play the tick into the ring so that they've got something they can hit on the next one. So the counter to that, some teams with last rock will throw a center guard in the no-tick zone to start things off. Things are going to get a little complicated for Mike McEwen, but that's the risk he has to take. He needs some rocks in play here. So they throw the corner guard now. This is still just the 4th stone of the end, so they can't attempt any kind of double peel yet on the next one. Ideally, you'd like to have these pretty close to even, I think. And you'd like it to get wide. Not ideal. He's got 2 guards to work with for now. There will be a double available later on. Can't play it just yet. This is still just the 5th stone of the end. So Mouat will look to pile another one into the top of the forefoot. And then it'll be up to the McEwen team to see if they can find a way to get something in the rings good enough that Bruce has to try to make a play on it and doesn't get a chance to peel those guards, at least not peel all of them. Just a little strong on this one as well, and they switch gears, try to hold it a little straighter, come by the stone at the top of the forefoot so they don't push it behind the tee line. Three red stones in the house belonging to Mouat, but 2 of them behind the tee line help Mike McEwen. He's looking for a way to get the 3rd one behind the tee line and possibly roll over and either get in front of that red stone at the back 8 or even behind the corner guard. He can get a lot out of this shot. As much as the game has probably felt very lopsided, for Mike McEwen, it's critical to remember you're still only down by 4. You get a deuce here, you're still in this game. You only have to steal 1 point at a time. You get forced here and you're going to have to steal a deuce somewhere along the line. That's where things get tough. Got the chip on the red stone. Moves it just behind the tee line, and the shooter will roll over and, well, it was buried and then spun back almost half a rock's worth. But he's got 3rd shot. No doubt that Bruce is looking for the double peel here. The question is, how do you want to play it? They've talked about hitting the first one thick, come across the top of the second one and spin up. You could also hit it thin, try to catch the back end of the second one and spin in. You have to make a clear decision, because if you're in the middle of those 2, you just roll dead into the second one and stay right there, and you actually would improve the guard position, although you'd make it your own color. Looks like with that ice, they're going to go thick, try to catch the top half of the second yellow, and have the shooter spin up and out the side. Nope, they did opt to go thin. Actually got it too thin. Almost missed the second one. He does move it over. It's all Mike's got to work with, so he's got to try to get something around it. Call coming from the other end. Do we ever try the freeze now? You make the dead come around. There's a pretty good chance. Well, I was going to say there's a pretty good chance Mouat peels it, but he may just hit the open Yellowstone. By playing the freeze in the house, you guarantee that Bruce isn't isn't hitting that corner guard right now. He's going to make a play on one of the rocks in the rings, and the longer you can keep that corner guard when it's the only one that you've got to work with, probably the better for you. Get the corner freeze on this red. There's no way for it to leave. Too many rocks for it to jam on going the other direction. Line looks pretty good. Just a question of the weight now. Did they wait too long on this a little bit? It's second shot. It is going to be a hard one to get rid of. I see what Bruce is talking about. You can nose hit it. It'll take one of the reds with it, come across, get that yellow at the back of the 8-foot, get rid of it. Doesn't want to leave that yellow where it is. You could just play the open yellow one, even if you blast those two out. Then there's a way to get that yellow out later. Grant Hardy doesn't have the benefit of an overhead, so he wants to come down and take a look at these angles. Just that last indication from Grant, I wonder if he's not wondering about the slash. It's not what they're playing. They're going to play the nose hit with some weight. You have the yellow come straight back off the red that's got a bite of the 4-foot, or pardon me, a bite of the button. It should come across, and they're hoping it'll kick that yellow out the side. Maybe lose the red at the back 8-foot as well. Has to stay to the nose or slightly to the high side here. He's got the nose, comes across, actually clips the stone at the back of the 4-foot, and when he catches the second one, he leaves it almost dead frozen. Well, Mike McEwen hasn't had too many breaks so far, but he got one there because that Yellowstone is going to be very hard to remove right now. The 3 reds that are still in there, hard to come around the corner guard though, and expect that it's still going to come back into play. We talked about corner freezing the shot stone at the top of the 8-foot. It doesn't need to hit anything yet. You hit anything, it just makes it too easy to get the yellow out. He's got a fairly makeable, not that he'd play it now, he's got a fairly makeable double on the reds in the middle. So if you do come around the corner guard, there's still time to bring that stone into play. He's got to play the freeze on the back one. You saw him gesture about the possibility of a double, but the way they're angled, if you get to the inside corner of this stone at the back, the attempt to rattle between the 2 yellows might leave both of them in the rings. Both brushers down. He's got to get by the stone at the top of the 8. Good for line there. They want to put it right on the corner of this stone at the back. Might have left a little bit too much separation there. You could come off that side one. The side one's not going to leave because it's frozen too solidly on the red, but you can kick that yellow out the side and remove the backing on that yellow-red frozen stone. Also looking at the runner on the stone at the top of the 8-foot, he's thinking he might be able to get both yellows that way, and he might. You come just across the top of the one that was just thrown with some weight, It goes out the back off the red stone, but your shooter, or the ray stone, comes straight sideways into that frozen one, and it might be able to kick it out the side. He's going to have some pace on this one. Working the brush. He's got the hit. Does get rid of the two at the back and comes across and at least breaks up that freeze for now. There's room to get the yellow out. It is still Mouat sitting 1. McEwen still sitting second shot. You make the freeze anywhere into the pocket right now, and only 1 yellow's ever leaving. Well, you can't afford to overcurl this, though. You overcurl it and you could leave another double opportunity. So they've stopped sweeping now. They need this to stop. They can't leave a double. Well, it's thin, but it is possible. The other option is you don't even need to play the double. You hit and roll. You see what Bruce talking about. Just hit and roll, sit 2, and because you're in front of the tee line, it's still a problem for McEwen. He might have to try to corner freeze this stone. Best chance here, I think, for Mike McEwen. You need him to over-roll on this. If he over-rolls a little bit, you might still be able to freeze the back one. Well, they're sweeping for curl early. That gives you some hope. But they're getting that curl right now. Gets the hit. Well, he will roll too far, though. Actually rolls well too far. That's interesting. Yeah, you could freeze the one that was just thrown. Then he can't really get the back one out either. I mean, you're hoping for a chance for a double for 3 if that happens, but you lock the freeze on good enough, Mouat might have to throw a draw. You could still just dead freeze the stone in the 4-foot. He'd likely pick the one under the back 8. He'll give you 2 right now. So still looking to freeze the pocket, which would still make it difficult to get to that yellow at the back, although you could slash this yellow into it, make sure that it's never going to be more than a deuce. There's a chance off this that you're still not sitting shot rock, and I guess what you're hoping is if you're sitting second and third, maybe Bruce, figuring you can't get it out, just throws a draw and leaves you a double. I don't think you're going to fool him like that. He'll be happy to take 1 yellow out and give you the shot for 2, I think. Better line this time. He has to stay on the broom side of that red. That little bump. Did he leave him room to come off the yellow full 8 foot into the side of that yellow and kick it out? Looks like what Bruce is settling on is just play for the nose hit on the yellow. Leave your shooter in front of that cluster of rocks. Should still rattle between them. Might even get rid of 3 of them here. 2 for sure. Gonna hit this hard on the nose. The yellow will come across. It'll hit the red, come across, catch the other yellow. It actually might go into the middle of the 2, the yellow red at the back. You might get rid of the 3 stones at the back here. Moves 1, comes across, gets the second yellow. Only kills 2. It's left a double for Mike McEwen for a deuce. Needs the double to catch the to keep his shooter. You hit the first one, have your shooter come across into that catcher. Chance to keep himself in the game here, needs this 2 points. Trailing by 4. Needs the double for 2. Mike McEwen with his final stone here in the 6th. Colton Flash on the brush inside. Got the brush down early. Now they're looking for curl. This is awfully thin on the first one right now. But thick enough. Shooter does kick into that side stone. Put 2 points on the board for Mike McEwen. He closes the gap now. He trails by a score of 5-3. 2 ends left to play. It'll be Bruce Mouat with last rock in the 7th.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, I can almost call these first 4 shots blindfolded. Mike McEwen needs to steal now. He's going to throw the high center guard. McMillan's going to come around to the top of the 4. Then Daniel Marsh will be asked to throw the tight center guard. McMillan will come around one more time. And Kevin Marsh will look to jiggle the stones around in the house, and then, depending on the angles, that's when everything starts to be more reactive than scripted. It is a tall order for the McEwen team, but critical to get those 2 points in the last end. A steal of 1 point at a time. I've talked about this through the course of the weekend, that the key here is you just don't sit there in the hacks and think about, well, we have to steal three ends in a row. You don't. You have to steal 1 point one time, and then if you do that, you have to do it again. All of these teams have stolen 3 ends in a row before. Well, that's interesting. It's a variation on what I was talking about. They come in on the second of the lead stones, knowing it's still the free guard zone. Now Hammy will throw the next one in, and they'll throw the second guard on the 5th stone of the end so that they don't have 2 red shot stones in there to deal with yet. I don't see that a lot, but it's not a bad idea. You do it the other way around, and there's always 2 shot stones in the forefoot that you have to deal with before you get a chance to get to shot rock yourself. You throw the center guard now, you're still in the same position. He's looking at moving it. Wow. It only surprises me because you know the center guard's gone on the next one, and then you have to throw tight guards. So I guess, I mean, as long as you make this really, really good, because you need to be able to guard whatever's left after this for the rest of the end. Tell you, I'd be tempted to throw the guard here. You let them peel the high one, because you do have you can see enough of your own stone to chip it into shot stone and get shot that way. And that would be a potential steal rock. Quick discussion about maybe hitting the rock in the rings, and I think that only comes from the fact this long guard by itself isn't much good, but you know that at some point in time, Mike's going to throw a tighter one, use this one to protect the tighter guard. So you peel it now. So now they have to guard the yellow stone that's biting the button. And this will be a series of guards and peels until Mike decides it's time to make a play in the house. And the only thing that could influence that is if you're worried that Bruce might switch gears, you might go a little bit earlier. But I don't see anybody switching shots before third's last stone, I wouldn't think. So expect to see at least 2 guards, 2 peels, I would think. Was wondering whether they'd play just for the straight peel or try to move one of those yellows. If you get it across the top, catch the yellow, when it catches the 2 on the button, yes, you'll lose the back red one if it does that, but the yellow that's on the corner of the button right now probably spins back a little bit. Just the straight peel, that's fine too. They'll look to replace the guard. It does look like they talked about maybe putting it a few inches further over just to change the position a little bit. Maybe make it a little riskier for Mouat to try to kill 2. See them switching sides to try to get extra curl here, so this has got to move. He'll get to the line he needed. It's a little bit longer too, probably not as likely to try the peel into the rings this time. Bruce thinking about playing the hit in the stone in the 8-foot, and I wonder if he's really thinking about playing the hit on the stone in the 8-foot, or he wants Mike McEwen to think that he is, because if you peel the guard, no, they are going to play it. That is one where sometimes you'll talk about a shot like that just so that you could influence your opposition. You think you're going to play this on the next one. Well, maybe he can't throw a guard on the next one. Maybe he's got to make a play into the house. Bruce might be worried that Mike was going to make a play into the house in the next one regardless, so he's got to get there first. And of course, that guard, being awfully long, isn't as dangerous. Made that pretty nice. Now, can Colton get to the nose or just about to the nose on that? If you get to the nose or a sliver inside, when you tap it back, you're going to leave a pocket. You actually might leave yourself shot rock if you just rub the yellow on the way by. But you could leave a pocket at the back of the 4-foot where it becomes very difficult to get this stone out. A lot of room coming by, starting to curl now. Wants to get at least to the nose. He will. Leaves it angled red onto yellow onto red. Didn't move his own very far, but left a good angle on the red, yellow, red. And now Bruce Mouat with no choice but to draw. And Hardy looking to come down and freeze to that second shot stone. Have to get to everything he could see of it if he was going to move it. Line's really good. Might be just a little short though. That's what I'm seeing for Mike, is the tap on the one that Colton just threw. The problem is the red stone at the top of the 4-foot might be available to be smashed in somehow or another. Mike looking at possibly playing that yellow in the top 12-foot into the red that was just thrown, because he's still got the red, yellow, red if it was open. He's wondering if he could leave himself 2 shots this way. If you put the yellow into that red that was just thrown, stuff it right there. Now you've got the shot around the outside. Just not sure what you'd have left in the middle. I guess you could always pick the shot stone out. This is where I need the telestrator I keep asking Jerry for. That's the 2 shots I see. He's either trying to put it directly into the red, leave the yellow sitting at the top of the 8-foot. And he's got 2 shots left that way. He's got the around the in turn side to tap the yellow up, and he's still got the red, yellow, red in the middle. Or you try to tap it straight back now. And not with big weight. Just enough to jiggle the red, jiggle the yellow, enough to get shot rock, and you need that Yellowstone to kind of sit between the other two so that the red rays on the stone that was just delivered to the top of the forefoot can't really eliminate any yellows. He's coming straight back. It's a little touchy to make sure you've got shot rock here. You've got to throw enough weight to move the back one because you might not get another chance to, but you don't want to move it so far that you create an escape route for the yellow. Boy, this is just taking off on them. Are they going to get by the front one? Yes. Now that they hit enough of that stone to still jiggle everything. Yes, again. Well, I don't know that he got shot rock, but he left the angles really good. Like, he's got shots on both sides. I don't know what Bruce Mouat has. Mike still has the yellow in the 12-foot that he could run up and play it again. That yellow at the corner of the button right now is never leaving the house. It's going into the other red stone at the side of the 4-foot. That worked out really well for Mike McEwen. This is a problem now for Bruce Mouat. He is shot rock, but there's just too many ways to get rid of the shot stone. How do you deal with them? I don't see a good angle to get any of the yellows out either, or even to change angles. All he's looking at is you hit the red onto the yellow and at least get rid of that red one off the side, so you're hoping there's an escape route for the yellow that's on the corner of the button now. The yellow that you're jamming in there, that's not going anywhere just yet. So playing this with quiet weight, so he'd like to keep his shooter and perhaps the other red around where he might be able to use him for his last shot. Makes the tap on the red. Jiggles things around in the button area. Still looks like it's the red that's shot rock. He does have some better angles. It's close for shot. It does look like it's the red. That's what I'm looking at. Can Mike ever get to the one that he just threw with enough to get it almost straight back? He's worried about the slash that Bruce has got, but there's a chance that spills. You can only see about 3/4 of that one in the 12-foot, but if you could ever come by, drive that stone onto the yellow that's not quite full 4-foot, it's going to come off the red, move over and kick the other one towards the button, and the ray stone might roll underneath the red slash. You have to be shot rock after this, so I'm not sure how worrying about the red slash. You can't really worry about the red slash. He does have So Mike right now looks to be sitting second and third. Could you make the double off the outside red? That's what I'm looking at now too. You make that double, you're sitting at least 2. Even if you scoot out the back, you're sitting 2 for sure, and you might be sitting 3 if you're dead into the side of it. Now the slash, if he loses the redstone, it's still a steal of 1. Thinking about this shot, if he's trying the yellow straight back, he's got to throw it with a little bit of weight because it's yellow onto yellow off the red at the side. He has to make sure he kicks the yellow in to be shot rock. It's not good enough to be sitting second after this. He's got a steal here. So he's going to play the double on the 2 back reds. Come off the one just nibbling the forefoot. Try to come almost straight across. Kick that one out the side. Even if he just kicks it in, if he hits the first one fairly thick, it just kicks that red over behind the yellow. At least that takes that slash away. But if he could get it out of the forefoot, he could sit 2, perhaps 3. And Bruce has to be real careful if he plays that slash. He can't afford to lose the rock. Well, they were on the sweep right away. He's got to be fairly thick on the first one. He's actually going to crash the red. He makes the slash himself, and now Mouat already sitting 2. Draw for 3. Are you even going to make him throw it? No, they're not. They will concede. Mouat will pick up 2 points here in the 7th end and the win. That moves them into the quarterfinal, or pardon me, that moves them on from the quarterfinal into the semis. Scheduled for 3 o'clock this afternoon. Looks like we'll be on time with ours, but still 3 other men's quarterfinals out there to be decided. Strong game for the Mouat team here in this quarterfinal action. And really for Mike McEwen, they had a couple of bad breaks early and just couldn't buy a break. Still a strong weekend for them. They end up as qualifiers. These teams will both be at the Grand Slam next week in Saskatoon. On behalf of myself, Sean Joyce, I want to thank you all for joining us here this afternoon and all weekend long. Connor Sims on the production with me here this afternoon, and I think he's back with me for a couple of games yet later on today. We've got semifinal action, both the men's and the women's coming up at 3 o'clock, and the finals scheduled for 6. It's the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown, live from Swift Current. You've been watching on Curling Stadium YouTube channel, and we'll be here for 2 more draws yet to determine who our champions are.